Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let's see. Volume up. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. First of all, who's that Kayla C1 changed up her message and then retracted? Shout out Kayla. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. I'm doing my morning stretch. Shout out to, let me start over. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck drivers. Shout out to my long-distance truck drivers, especially shout out to my brother's Choice Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Go over there and support my brother's channel, please. That's Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. That's deep. Every person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Not a little bit of good for others. You want good for others as much as you want the same good for yourself. Shout out to you. I'm on my tea this morning. This is elderberry and echinacea. Echinacea. Manners and respect, family. Thank y'all for being here. Listen up. We got a couple of things we want to talk about this morning. We want to talk about, I'm looking at my board over here. So we have New York rolls out the COVID passport. We got to talk about the COVID passport a little bit, all right, because they're really pushing the COVID passport. And I don't know if y'all know what the COVID passport is, but we're going to get into that. And in New York, at the same time, has moved to legalize marijuana, recreational use for marijuana, not medical marijuana, but recreational use for marijuana, all right? We're going to talk about DMX. I want to fill some people in on DMX situation because I did a video yesterday, and one of the battles that I face doing YouTube is, remember, I've been in the US since I was a child, since I was really small. So when I do topics, I don't want to do a channel that has all Jamaican stuff. What are we going to get up and talk about every day? How Andrew Holness is not able to curtail or control the crime rate. Oh, another woman is dead again. Oh, another woman is dead again. Oh, 2 men got shot again. I mean, what are we going to talk about? You know, and there's so much beyond that, because if you're in Jamaica, Jamaica itself isn't on just Jamaican stuff. See? So as a person that was raised in the US, I just like everybody else, I was into other things and influenced by other people and other things. So I assimilated, if you know what I mean. I assimilated and I'm into other things. So we're going to talk about some of that this morning. When we did the video yesterday about DMX situation, I saw some very callous comments. Oh, I'm doing it to himself. Me no sorry for him. Next one said them for dead. Next one says, what's the other one? Oh, the devil has come to collect. He made some deal with the devil and Baphomet and Illuminati and all this. We're going to talk about the DMX situation in a minute. All right. We're going to talk about the missing Clarendon teacher in a minute. I got a lot of topics on the board this morning. I just want to run through them. Right? It's Monday morning, man. I'm trying to shake it off. I know you guys are trying to shake it off too. For those of you who did not work Saturday and Sunday and your last day at work was Friday, today is Monday morning and you're trying to shake it off and get back to it. It's money-making Monday, baby. Give thanks. You have the chance, the opportunity. You're up, you're healthy, you're strong, and you are able to go and get it. And you have gainful employment. Some people are unemployed. Some people got laid off. Some people's hours got cut back so much over this whole period that they're not even able to match their bills anymore. And you know, a lot of people were living hand to mouth, before all this. So give thanks. And then we're going to talk about, of course, the whole domestic issue in Jamaica that's trending, man and woman relationship. So where do we start? We're going to start at the top of the board. Let's start with the DMX situation. So I put a video out yesterday, right, about DMX, that he had overdosed. He smoked some crack, cocaine, and it led to a heart attack. He must have done so much of it. I realized that a lot of my Jamaican audience members don't really, if you don't dabble in a certain area, then you don't really care what goes on over there. Just like the Yankee them, when the Yankee them come to my channel, they don't really care about in depth so much about what's going on with Popcorn or what's going on with Tommy Lee or what's going on in the dancehall sphere, dancehall area, arena. So I have to break stuff down. So I'm breaking this down for my Jamaican and my Caribbean people. Some people, oh, there are people on there that says, I have no idea who this is you're talking about, SouFlo. On to the next video. Like they really didn't know who DMX is. And of course, what really got to me was the callous comments. Never you kick a man when he's down, man. A lot of people get on their soapbox and they get so self-righteous and they preach this kind of preaching like they have never done anything wrong or they don't have any issues in life, when that's a lie, because every human being is faced. Nobody could tell me right now, my life's been smooth sailing my whole life. I've never had any issues. Whether it's issues with family or issues with yourself, from small issues to large issues, we all share the same issues. You might not be on drugs, but you might be a person that has some messed up mentality, or you might be a person that, you know, you're not as loving as you think you are, kind of thing. You might be one of them people that show one face for social media and another behind the scenes, because your real self is something that you truly are ashamed of, but you don't want to say it. You boost yourself and tell you know, whatever the issue is, we all have issues. So never you kick a man when he's down. And I seen somebody left a comment that said, when you have money, you must live good. Good for him. I don't feel sorry for him. And another person said, you better seek God, and you better let this be a lesson to the rest of you if you don't seek God. That one hit me. Because you seek God does not mean that problems won't find you. Matter of fact, in my life, what I have noticed is the people who seek God the most and the deepest, they tend to run into the most problems. Their battles are usually harder. You understand? So it's like seeking God in a world filled with, or a world that is ran by devilish kind of people. And you're surrounded by a lot of devilish kind of people. I remember Tupac Shakur said, you know what's crazy, or you know what's insanity? Insanity is trying to be an angel in a world full of devils. That's insanity. You know what I'm saying? So trouble finds you. And never kick someone when they're down, thinking that my life is so good and it's been so good for so many years, it's going to be this good for the rest of my life. Life is a journey, my friend. Life is a journey, and you don't know what is down the road of this journey for you. Some things where you're talking about, I would never, and that can never happen to me. Life has a way of bringing that stuff right around and putting you in that seat. You understand? You might say, no, not for me, I will never. But then you grow and you have children, and then you witness one day, someday down the road, one of your kids are hooked on drugs, or one of your kids has a mental breakdown to where you have to go seek psychological help, or all kind of stuff. Like I see people breaking mentally, and then I see like my Jamaican audience in particular, a week and week, man. A week and week. You better understand mental illness so that if one of yours go off the rail, you can recognize it and be of some kind of an assistance, before they decide prematurely that they don't want to be here anymore and take their own life, you know? So never kick a man when he's down. DMX story, what I wanted people to understand is this. Because I followed him since he came out with the first song. I followed him since then till now. Over decades, I've followed him. I can tell you this. He was with a story like this. When someone says, oh, he forced it, he did that to himself. In a sense, yes. In a sense, yes. But don't pass judgment before you know somebody's story. And this brother has shared his story. So he's not from a cushy background. It wasn't, oh, daddy left, but mommy still did a good job kind of thing. It was daddy left, mommy threw his ass out on the streets. It was, he was homeless for a long time from a very young age. Now, I don't know what you think happens to a 9-year-old that sleeps outside with grown people that sleep outside, but you can only imagine. So I'm sure X has all kinds of demons he's fighting, right? And some things probably happened to him that he refuses to talk about. On top of that, the main part that I remember him mentioning years ago was that the first time he smoked crack cocaine, he was 9 years old. And how he said the first time he smoked it, he was 9 years old, and he's been battling this demon ever since. He's 50 years old. So you can imagine, right? Your adult caretakers put you out into the streets. Grown adults take you under their wings. Come here, man. You know, we got you. When all they have for you are sinister plans. They end up having a child smoke crack cocaine. And he's been fighting with it ever since. He was tricked into smoking it at 14. Yes, his first experience with it was at 9 years old. His first experience with it was at 9 years old. It was 14. Okay, shit. Okay. If it's 14, I stand corrected. But I've been following him for decades. So some of this information might be jumbled. But 9 to 14 is not a big jump. So you're put out. Okay, let's put it in context. Let's be specific then, since you want to be specific. Do you know what happens to a 14-year-old that's out in the streets with nowhere to go? Left in the care of other adults that are out in the street living that rough life with nowhere to go. So he was coerced. And he was forced into smoking crack at 14 years old. And he's been battling this demon ever since. So from 14 to 50, he's been fighting this. He's had years of being clean, and then he's gone back on it. He's had years of being clean, he's gone back on it. Moments of sobriety, and then he went back to it. This particular time, remember he was locked up recently, right? You notice when he came home, he had all this weight on him. Even when he did the versus battle recently, he had all this weight on him. He did it with Snoop Dogg. And Snoop, you know, Snoop is very slim. Snoop was dancing throughout the whole versus battle. And then DMX was like, nah, I don't do the dancing stuff, because this all you see is this belly right here. He was trying to make, you know, light of it, that he had put on so much weight. But that's what usually happens with that moment of sobriety. Locked up, moment of sobriety, not able to move around and not eat and drink, because a lot of people that are on crack, they don't really feature food. They like eat and drink whenever it's desperately needed. They chase the crack and the cocaine more, especially when they're binging. So he came out, has all this weight on him, and he was doing good. He was actually working on an album. And I remember him saying again about the album, he was like, you know, usually this is how it goes for me. And I think he has 5 albums to this day. But he said, this is how it usually goes for me. They set his team set it up. Okay, so boom, we're going to go to Miami. We're going to do the album in Miami. And he's like, cool, boom, let's get it. He goes to Miami. He's focused. He wants to do his album. But because of who he is and these demons that he fights, or that particular demon, it's a whole different story once he gets to Miami. You get to Miami, it's sunshine and palm trees and motorbikes and fancy cars and beaches. And next thing you know, he's back at it again. And then album gets derailed. He was probably under a lot of pressure. Somebody said he lied. He probably was on it all along. Or he tried to commit suicide. I don't think so. I think when you break from a drug, your tolerance level starts to get lower than what it was when you were constantly doing it. And then, for those of you who drink, and then you take long breaks, and then you have your first drink again, that first drink, you start looking at that cup like, this got me feeling like this. We had one glass of wine, and I'm like, ooh. Whereas if you drink it every day or every other day, you will find yourself finishing a whole bottle by yourself. I think that's what happened to him. And I think he went in, and of course, the euphoric feeling that they get from that particular drug, after sobriety, it's like, I've been missing you. Your body is craving what you've been missing. And it happens to people that diet. That's why it's not good to diet. It's good to just find a lifestyle, incorporate good eating habits into your lifestyle. It's not good to diet, because when you diet, you deny yourself all the things that you are so into. And okay, I'm going to eat just fruits and vegetables for the next week. And you do, and the whole time you're eating it, you're thinking fried chicken, you're thinking macaroni and pie, you're thinking, you know, all these other things that do cause you to put on weight, especially if you overeat them. And when that week of dieting is up and you think you look like what you want to look like, watch what your body does. Your body is like this. Fried chicken. You eat more fried chicken than what you were eating before, because your body is like trying to catch up on the carbs that it lost. You eat more macaroni pie and salad. It's the same thing for the drug. And I think for him, he relapsed. And when he relapsed, he hit it hard. Oh, my body misses you, and the body was feeling like it missed it. That's how people overdose on heroin as well. Besides getting a bad batch of heroin, when they try to get off and then the body craves and they try to get off, and the sick feeling that goes along with getting off, you know, they feel nauseated. It's not just, I quit, not doing that anymore. It becomes a struggle. And for him, it's a huge struggle, and a struggle that he's been fighting for a very long time. I don't know where I got it in my head that it was 9 years old, but my audience members are saying 14, so I'm going to roll with the 14. Either way, that's a small child. That's a small child from 14 to 50 fighting that battle. So I want people to understand that it's not, oh, he has money, so he did drugs. And I've seen another person said something about DMX that I think I need to clear up before we go on to another topic. And that's, the person said something about if he had God in his life, or he need God in his life, because if he had God in his life, he wouldn't be where he's at. For those of you who have followed DMX, right? Now, whether you believe this or not, I'm telling you about DMX. DMX has never been, he is actually probably the most outspoken rapper when it comes to his relationship with God. And I understand I'm talking to an audience who some people might say Jah, some people might say Yah, some people might say Krishna, some people might say Buddha, some people might say Allah, some people might say, but for DMX, his God is Jesus Christ. And he has always made that clear. Always. Even in his darkest hours. So if you don't know who it is you're talking about, watch the comments that you leave. You know what I'm saying? Watch the comments that you leave. When I saw those kind of comments, I was like, man, this is why sometimes I have these topics I want to cover, but I know I'm pitching it to the wrong audience. Even though I want my platform to grow, because I want to be able to speak to everybody, not just, oh, you only speak to Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know who the person is, go do a little research before you leave these kind of comments. DMX has never been afraid to say it. This man busts out in hold prior meeting and leave people crying from the prior meeting. That is why a lot of people are saying he's gifted in that way, and they think that he's going to be used in that way. You know, even he said it. He said, I think one time he said, I think that God's calling me to be a preacher. I don't want to believe it though, but I think that's what it is. But hey, if that's where I end up, that's where I end up. I'm here for the ride, right? But he's not afraid to pray. He'll bust out in prayer in front of, and he talked about all the trinkets of the industry. And he was like, there's certain things that he's just not going to get into. So of course, for you, it'll look like he fell off because he's not grabbing headlines and spotlight anymore. But it's because of certain things that he is just not going to do. He won't compromise his relationship with Jesus Christ to get into these things. He didn't go into detail what they were, but I can only imagine. So for those of you who keep saying that stuff and leaving it in the comment section, y'all just make, I know a lot of Yankee people probably scrolling through, and when they see these comments, they're like, Jamaican, man, they don't even understand. Like, yo, go to another channel. You know what I mean? Yes. Chuchu Don says DMX militant. He is. He is a true soldier. I remember one time he went on vacation in St. Bart's, and there were like, he said that's where all the rich entertainers go, you know. And that's the first time when he realized that Jay-Z had left the streets, because he down there in St. Bart's, he in joggers, sweats, and Timberland boots, right? He in his Tim boots, stomping through St. Bart's, and he runs into Jay-Z. And Jay-Z is out there with security following not too far behind. DMX is like, he out there by himself. Jay-Z is out there, security following not too far behind. And he looked down at Jay-Z's feet, and Jay-Z had on chalatas. That's the first person I ever heard use the word chalatas to describe slippers. And he like, oh, you in a whole different world. You out here in a strange place stomping around in chalatas. That means you not ready to brawl with nobody. But when you get to that level, you don't brawl with nobody. You got a team that takes care of any beef for you. See, and he was like, I'm not on that level. I still got my Timbs on. I'm still stomping the ground. If you with me, I'm still your ass like that. So, but that's DMX. And we pray healing over the brother, man, and we pray that he make it back. I think he still has a lot to do. But, you know, I'm not God, and God has the last word. God has the say-so. See, and so although we have good intentions for him, I will leave this DMX segment by saying, may the will of the Most High be done. That's it. If the Most High says time for you to come home, I need your soul here in our kingdom, my kingdom, then that's what it's going to be. If the Most High says, hey, I'm not done with you yet. One subscriber put it very nicely. The subscriber said right now he is talking to the ancestors. They're debating, and he is with the Most High. And he and the Most High, he is in the land of the ancestors with the Most High. And right now the Most High is taking him through a questioning, through a reasoning. You think you're done? You think you're done? Your mission was accomplished? Do you want to go back? That kind of stuff. And I could just see it, you know what I mean? Maybe that's me, my imagination at work, but may the Most High's will be done. All right, we're going to leave it at that. So with that said, for those of you who keep seeing this stuff, oh, I feel the need to clarify this as well, because a lot of people left this comment on my video. Oh, SouFlo, you're late. He woke up and he's breathing on his own. That's a lie. Somebody started that, and then a lot of people ran with it, and that's one of the cons, not the pros, of this internet world we live in. Because as soon as you publish truth, a bunch of people publish lies, and then when there are more lies in print out there than truth, people tend to believe what's more. Well, if 20 vloggers are saying he is awake, then he is awake, right? you're just bringing false news, SouFlo. He's not. He's awake. He's breathing on his own. He's not. I made sure I did my research up to the last minute before I posted the video. His family came out yesterday and they gave a statement. His lawyer also gave a statement, and this is his longtime lawyer. The lawyer said he got excited and he got some fake information or some false information, and he got excited and he released that false information to the public because he wanted to believe that that's what it was. Okay, he's off the machine, he's going to be okay, but he's not. He's still in critical condition. There's still very little brain waves, brain activity, and he is still on the machine. Okay, and that's what it is. So ignore the ones where he woke up yesterday and he is breathing on his own. That's not true. He's still, I don't know if y'all saw the video, the Rough Riders were out in numbers. The Rough Riders were out in numbers in front of the hospital that DMX is in. If you've never got caught up in a Rough Rider ride through, they used to ride through Brooklyn when I used to live there. They used to ride through different parts of New York. I'd be in Manhattan shopping or just hanging out. And when the Rough Riders were coming through, especially when DMX was really hot, when the Rough Riders were coming through, they would come through like 300 deep. I don't know if you ever seen what 300 motorcycles revving at the same time sounds like, but it's a powerful movement. You know what I mean? And I remember all that from back then. So they were outside of the hospital playing his music, and like they rolled deep, deep. You could get, and he used to say it like, roll with us or get rolled over. And they really meant get rolled over. Because along the way of moving this 300 motorbikes, a whole lot of stuff used to happen. But he's not up. He is still on the machine. He still needs the machine to breathe. He is still in critical condition. According to TMZ, the doctor said he's in a vegetative state. So you know what that means. You know what that means. Anyhow, we're praying healing over this brother's life and that God use him. And because he could be that's a huge testimony. His life story is a testimony, and his life work, and the fact that he is that militant in spirit and he stands strong for what he believes in, I think he could be a good soldier, you know? So with that said, segueing right into something else. So let's talk about the COVID passport. New York rolls out COVID passport in New York. What's up with you? What is up with you? Shout out to my New Yorkers. New York rolls out the COVID passport. Remember, you know, we said to each other, right here, me and you, we said, this thing might not start off as mandatory, or they might not come out and put laws on the books that says every single one of you must be vaccinated by, say, July 1st, a mandate. They might not do that. However, when you see stuff like COVID passport being pushed to where states are starting to take it over and mandate it, it kind of makes you like, yeah, are they heading towards what I think they're heading towards? I don't know. I'm concerned. That's what I'm saying. I am concerned. Lebert Peart, thank you for being here. So COVID passport, they passed the COVID passport, or the governor of New York said that COVID passport, for those who have their COVID passport, they can assemble in numbers. They the same thing that they can assemble in numbers. They can go anywhere freely. They don't have to be, you know, basically it's no hassle for them to travel in and out of different states and out and back into the country. They won't have any issues. This sounds to me like they're heading in that direction. I know that it's scary to think, and there are a lot of people that are thinking it's impossible and it won't happen. I'm hanging in there. I can't predict what they're going to do, but I'm hanging in there. Eve One Melody says COVID passport trials starts in the UK in May, and it starts with the FA Cup finals. Tamara Brown Ford says, I'm not taking it. I just quarantine. You can't quarantine for life, family. You can't quarantine for life. I have family members that have taken it. My mom has taken it. She took her second one. I think I told you that Friday on our last show. I'm still watching. I'm still watching. I don't want to say, I don't know what they're going to do. So I don't have any inside information to government and all that. And I won't sit up here and pretend that I do. But I know how to watch what's going on, and I have sense. What's going on usually tells us where it's going. So follow it. That's a start. And once there's compliance with that start, they'll push for a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until before you know it, it becomes mandated all across the board. Hey, we need to get back to normal. Everywhere is closing down. People are scared, blah, blah, blah. Inoculate everyone. And they won't come to you and say, put your arm out. You have to take it. Yeah, it won't be that. Guns will blaze. People will go out in a hail of bullets. All kinds of stuff will happen. But how they can do it, like I've said to you before, is make it mandatory for certain things that we have to do. Like you have to travel. I have to fly outside of the US. That's how my life is set up. With people that depend on me, I have to fly outside of the US. I'm one of them. If you work in a certain environment, then they can make it mandatory for you. And they could go by institutions. Like one company might say, listen, for all of our employees, we like our employees to have that particular vaccine. So if you don't have it, do you have it, yes or no? They don't have to tell you to your face, because next thing you know, you're suing for discrimination and all this other stuff. All they have to do is you submit your medical records when you go through this process of getting hired. And then they'll look and they'll be like, oh, don't have his COVID passport. Okay, on to the next application. Okay, John has his. We'll see this person. Tamara doesn't have hers. Okay, throw that out. Okay, James Smith has his. We'll see that person. That's how it's going to be. Or that's how they can make it. Right? So once I see COVID passport, New York COVID passport rolls out, I'm like, okay, the governor of the state of Florida, DeSantis said no. No and no. He's not for it. We don't want it in Florida. So basically what the governor of New York is saying, get your COVID passport by getting all your shots and you can go everywhere and anywhere. And then right down here in Florida, our governor is saying, hell no. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's a way of mandating it because you're limiting people's movement in order and telling them that the only way you can free up is if you take this. So that's a form of mandating it. So I don't want it and I don't like it. So it's good to see somebody standing up for other people who, you know, because if they don't stand up, then it could very well hit a point where it's you have to take it. All right. Good morning. Thanks for the update on DMX. And my goodness, things are getting serious, man. Who's that? JK. Yeah, JK. We living in serious times, family. Blue says no soldiers forcing people. They would just make it impossible to live normal life without one. People need to stand up for their freedom. Yeah, they have the power to make it rough for you. Like for me, and I'm talking personally. I remember, again, somebody last week that said, oh no, I watched this whole 1 hour video and all you did was talk about yourself. I guess you don't understand reasoning. I have to put me in everything. I'm here. I'm supposed to act like I'm non-existent. I'm facing the same struggles a lot of other people are facing. And the best way I can relate is through my own experiences. See? So for me, who have to fly out, for me, who have to go into certain environments to get my bread and butter, It's very real. It's very real. Lorna Moses says it's a tracking system. JK says, I hope them don't mandate it for work. And Faith De Leon says, now's the time for us to surrender everything to Jesus. Hey, wherever you draw your strength from, you go there. I tell people this all the time before I segue into the legalization of recreational marijuana in New York City. New York's off the chain. You might not believe in whoever some other person believes in, but trust me, when real problems take you in life, you're gonna holler out to somebody. I'm just saying, you're gonna holler out to somebody. I ain't never seen trouble take man, and man sat there and says, I'm praying to myself. I hope myself gets me out of this. Bless me, oh myself. Stand with me, myself. They holler out to somebody. So whatever you want to say right now, oh, I'm believing that Jesus is yeah, whatever. All right, your day is coming. Then you do your hollering out sooner or later. It's life. Okay, it's life. Chubba B says, lost 3 immediate family members to CV. Yes, I took vaccine. So Chubba B, it was kind of scary for you, huh? If I saw 3 family members drop from this thing, I probably would be out here with my arm out first too. I'd probably go looking for them. Hey, they selling that stuff over here? Anybody got it? Can I get it right here? I mean, things happen around you that influence you. But when I reach, that's it. So I'm hanging in there with a bunch of other people. All right. Okay. No one can save you but you. Yes, I hear you. Okay. Now, let's talk about the legalization of recreational marijuana. And again, it's about me. I lived in Brooklyn, New York for 7 years. When I was in Brooklyn, New York, for those who know me from way back then, I used to be outside on the block a lot. And I remember how the police used to roll through. They even did it to me. I remember going to the store one time and I bought a backwood. Told the story before, so if you heard it before, just bear with it. I had a backwood. I bought 1 cigar and I was heading back to the barbershop around the corner. And a police officer walked up and I'm walking down the street normal, just with the cigar like this. And I'm heading back to the shop. And this man walks up and just grabs my arm like this and holds my hand in the air. And I was so shocked. It was like, I'm like, what the? Because if it was a stranger, I could fight, right? But it's a police in full uniform. And it was a black police officer too. It was a police officer in full uniform. Grab my hand from my side, bring my hand up in the air like this and start shaking my hand like this. I'm holding a cigar. And he says, break it, break it. I mean, he's gripping my hand. Break it. It's a cigar. Tony used to sell it at the corner store, the Arab store, for 50 cents. I went around there and I got one. So I break the cigar as he's holding my hand and I have the cigar. I breaks the cigar like this. He wants me to crush it, break it, right? So I break it like this, drop everything on the ground. He looks down and throws my hand like this. Oh, you're lucky. And just walks away. Now I had a big mouth. So I'm over there calling them all kinds of names. I'm like, yo, you a slave catcher, you a this, you a that, yo, I was coming out. And then he goes, oh, you're lucky, and walks away. I said, you gonna buy my cigar back? Not a word from officer. And I used to be on the block all the time because I used to work on the same block I used to live on. So I saw the police used to circle the block like, no kidding you, like about every 5 to 10 minutes, it was police presence. And they weren't coming through to just, oh, let me see if these people are doing okay. And it was usually all Caucasians with one brother in the mix. Let me see if they're doing okay. Oh, hi, everybody. They didn't speak. Their windows were up. You couldn't speak to them. And mostly it was because brothers were standing outside, right? Roll up a little thing, smoke a little thing. Now, I mean, this little thing that he's smoking, a little bit of herb, was enough for them to grab you, throw you up against the wall, kick your feet apart, spread you up on the wall like this, massage your damn balls, slide their hand down your pants through your ass crack. Like, they just all up in you. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Ah. For recreational marijuana. And a lot of people have a record because of recreational marijuana. So now that New York has legalized recreational marijuana, I think Florida needs to get on the same page. But now that New York has legalized recreational marijuana, I can see stop and frisk going down, because that's the reason why they used to use that as one of the main reasons. Sometimes people are outside. I've seen guys, I wasn't smoking it, but I've seen guys outside smoking a cigarette, and they would literally pull up and stop at your foot. Brr, what's that you smoking? Cigarette? Oh. And drive off. Now, mind you, they don't do this stuff in the suburbs. They don't do it in the suburbs. I was in the middle of Brooklyn. I was on Union Street between Bedford and Franklin Ave in Crown Heights. Okay? And they used to come around every minute. About every 5 minutes, I would say they would circle the block, and jump out on people. And it was a lot of the times it was marijuana charges. They were dragging these little young guys through the system for. They had a thing back in the day, and they still do it, where whatever reason you could find to bring them in, bring them in. Why? Because we want fingerprints, DNA on everybody or as many of the residents from this area as possible. So somebody just said in the comment section that this COVID shot thing is a tracking system. I don't know that. So I'm not going to put that information out there. But that's how they used to do it. So one little joint, that's about, if they catch you with the roach, you're going down. And they used to, based on that, they were able to take you through bookings based on that. And now you're in the system. See? So for them to legalize recreational marijuana now, it's a huge thing. I'm wondering if they're going to expunge the records of those people who that's all they ever had on their record. And I'm wondering if they're going to let go the people who are locked up with just that on their record. Non-violent offenders who was out smoking some ganja and they roll up on them. So it's a good look. It's a good look. And I don't know, I'm just thinking maybe the whole US should follow. But you know, the US and the industrial prison system, they get very tricky. This is how Peter Tosh's son, Jawara, this is how Peter Tosh's son got caught up. Because you can go from one state where ganja is good, legal, you're good with that. And you cross state lines and you're looking at 5 to 10 years for the amount that you have in your neighboring state. So why do that? Why not? It's a country, right? And it's called the United States of America. So if they're united, like they say in the name, why don't we just do this move all across all the states? Keep people confused. If you're a marijuana user, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm good here, but we traveling from Florida to New York, so we're gonna have to pass through, but it's not legal here, but then it's legal here, but then it's not legal there, but then, and that's your journey all the way to New York. So if you get caught in any one of those states that it's not legal in, that's the end of your trip. And they don't only just give out tickets, they're running you through the bookings. Knox Johnson says records of the past won't be taken back. Man, I don't know. SouFLo research, Letitia James. She is the head lawyer dealing with this. Low-level weed convictions are supposed to be expunged going back 15 years. Thank you, King Biggs. I'm figuring that something like that would have to happen. Would have to happen. So, anyways, hey man, I could go on talking about marijuana, but I won't. But you should know that they demonized marijuana at a certain point in history. It was a systematic execution, specifically because they wanted to bring in pharmaceuticals, particularly also because they said that those who, black folks, who they were on some different stuff. Basically, they saw the system for what it is. I think when you, like Bob Marley said, it give you some time to sit and pre-things and see what's really going on. Yeah. And they were like, nah, we don't need that. We need some stuff to either really dumb them down or really speed them up. You ever see crackheads? They on go. You ever see heroin addicts? They on stuck. But we won't get into that this morning. So, COVID passport rollout. Are you taking your shot? Have you taken your shot yet? If there's anybody here that has taken their shot, both shots, and you're doing fine, and it's been over a week or two, holler at me, just say, here I am. And for those of you who have not taken it and have decided that no matter what, you will never take it, just holler and say, I will never take it, here I am. I just want to see how many people are going to take it. So they're definitely going to raise the price. It's New York, LOL. Man, if weed is legal in New York, then the price has to go down. The price is going to have to go down. So, I don't know, maybe that brother that over upon Lincoln that used to give me that little bag, talking about it's hot out here, son. They be out there like this, talking about, yo, what up? I got that. Now walk down the block and come back. Walk down the block and come back. And they serve right in front of the police. You walk down the block, you coming back, and he hit you like this. Go about your business, and when you get home, you're like, what the? Yo, it's like not even as big as my thumbnail. So you call him, you're like, yo, what's this? What did you just give me, yo? Oh, yo, that's that chocolate, son. That's that chocolate. Don't burn all of it at once. It's going. Now they'll have to come up with a good amount for those who burn. So yeah, the prices are gonna go down. The price ain't gonna go up. It's gonna be everywhere now. People are gonna start growing their own Zaza and not growing a good strain and then trying to sell it to you on the street. All kinds of stuff. But I'm thinking there will be a limit as to how much you can hold. Like in Jamaica, if you don't know it, ganja in Jamaica, you perfectly good. Police don't even bother you anymore. Yo, when I was in Jamaica like recently, it was amazing to see. Police don't bother you no more. You walk past police for your split. Police, good. Walking officer. Yeah, man, everything all right? Yeah, good. Yeah, good round up, good round up. Police ain't bothering you. I think you're, as far as the Rastaman Elegant told me, is you are allowed, I think you're allowed up to 5 or 10 plants, and you're allowed up to 2 ounces. Is that 2 ounces? Now, 2 ounces for personal use, that's a lot of ganja. That's a lot of ganja. So Jamaica is on it already. Now, of course, transporting for sales, mass distribution and all that stuff is still illegal. Still very much illegal. So you can't be caught with no 50 pounds, 100 pounds in a van back. You're going to jail. You're going to jail and possibly prison. But if you have your little 1 ounce or half ounce on you and a 1 spliff, they don't even care. They don't look, because the law says now that you can do that. So I'm thinking in New York, they will actually probably do the same thing. There's an amount that you can be caught with that will make it non-criminal. You won't be on the books for it. Police will probably look at it and be like, a little half an ounce of some bush. Go on about your business. That's all you have on you. Search you up. No guns, no nothing. Go on your way. Who's smoking for personal use? 10 pounds. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's how but that's how Peter Tosh's son had got caught up. Because they caught him with a whole lot of pounds. And from there, it just got worse. He went to prison. He got beat up by some crazy person. And I think American prison is easy. I'll be feeling for them brothers that, especially the ones who get extradited out of Jamaica. You left your good beaches. You left sharkies, steamed fish and lobster, and escovitch fish and bommy, sunshine and mint tea in the morning, and these things. You leave that, and they came and got you from that place and kitchen cling, and the next time you step off and you stepping on a plane in the sunshine, Jamaica sun beat you as you go up on the plane, and American authorities have you like this, ankle and feet chained, and you jump on a plane. It's 90 degrees in the shade. Cool breeze a blow, but it's warm and nice outside. And they put you on that plane. And the next time you land, you're in South Dakota or Minnesota, middle of winter. You've never been there before. And they take you to some cold institution. Then when you get there, you got some people in there walking around like this, looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Got all them damn immigrants up in here. They probably brought some of them diseases with them and stuff. Just want to punch you in your face for no reason. It's rough. It's rough. It's not like Jamaica prison where your mother can say, baby, you want me to come, where you want me to carry for you this weekend when we come visit? And you say, mommy, bring me some rice and peas. You know, you cook it with the coconut milk. Yeah, I'm like your escovitch fish. Bring me one fish, please. And she bring that for your dinner. Not in the US. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight for your body. You're going to have to fight for your sanity. You just going to have to fight. So it's rough. Let that be a deterrent for anybody on this live that's thinking, I could do this. I got this. No, you can't. Tell yourself you can't. I tell myself I can't. So I'm not trying to go there. Anyhow, COVID passport rollout, legalized recreational marijuana, DMX still comatose, still on breathing machine, sending prayers up for the brother. Missing Clarendon teacher. And this, so I did a story right when the weekend started about the teacher from Clarendon. We're segueing right now. We're going into a different segment. So JA prison seems like a walk in the park. BXB, I want to tell you, I want to get into this Jamaica stuff, so we're perfectly on point to segue into that, the domestic issue in Jamaica right now, because it seems like killing woman is trending. I don't know. I think one brother must have seen another brother do it in the news or something, and he figured, well, them only give him 15 years, so my girl, I cut me a kill her too. And it's trending, but we're going to talk about that in a minute, because there are a couple of things that happened just over this weekend alone. But yes, Jamaica prison, the conditions might not be good as far as, remember the brother tell us about wave and everybody run go to that side because you over here doing in a bucket, and then they can't flush it. So when the next person has to use the bucket, everybody go way back to that corner or to another corner, because you don't want to go in the corner where the man just done doo-doo in it because it stink over there. So y'all go on next corner. But when you go to the other corner, the people in the cell have to hurry and move to the next corner. And he said people in there rolling up paper, newspaper, them knows some people are like the newspaper for burn it because nobody don't want to smell anybody else's feces, all kind of stuff. It may be rough in that way, but you get your visitations, you good. You can touch your family. You know, the US, they have prisons where you can touch your family, but once you hit max, you ain't touching your family. And worse, in this COVID thing, I don't think there's any face-to-face visit going on. So you have to talk. But I've had to go visit people before from behind the, it's strange. It's strange. Because when I asked bro, I said, where were you at? He said, I was in building 13, right? Just giving you an example. When I went to go visit, I'm talking into a screen, and you got to step into a little booth. And you step in the booth, and the other people beside you are in booths, You can hear them talking to their loved one and their loved one talking back through the thing, right? You step in the booth. This man is all the way across. When I came out and I looked at where building 13 was compared to where I was at, not even close. That alone does something to your psyche. You can't reach out and touch your family members. You can't even see them from behind a glass. They go televised now. So it's on a TV screen. And bro is telling me like, yo, they woke us up from like 4 o'clock this morning, telling me about I got a visitor or I got visitors on my books coming through today and all this other stuff. Then we had to come over here and you got to go through the strip search, bend, squat, spread your cheeks, cough. Some perverted CEO wants to see in your body cheeks again, so he has you coughing extra and bending over longer than everybody else and all that. Now I think something up there, put gloves on, swipe up your body cheek, like, and that's for every visit. I had one cousin who told us, don't nobody come visit me. Nobody come visit me because every time you get a visit, you have to go through that. Going out to the visit, coming in back from the visit, I'm cool, don't visit me. And we weren't allowed to visit him. And he did his time. He did his time and he got out. So I really think Jamaica prison kind of soft when it comes to them things there. Now, the Clarendon teacher on the video that I did, the Clarendon teacher that was missing, they found her car. Remember I told you her belongings were her pocketbook, if you call it pocketbook, or that my mother call it, or purse. Purse to me is the little one, but it's her pocketbook and her purse, right? Were found emptied and scattered on the highway. And they said it was the Spanish Town leg of Highway 2000. Big up to Spanish Town, but from them says Spanish Town leg of Highway 2000. I said, this is not good. This is not good. So to rehash the story, she was inside the house. Matter of fact, another teacher, the headmistress, yesterday gave an interview, I think, and she said she just finished having a meeting with her the same day she went missing. And she's a person that's always punctual, always on time, never miss a beat. She don't miss days. So when she didn't show up for the meeting that they planned, she even asked her before she left, remember, tomorrow morning we have to have a meet. And she was like, yes, miss, I'll be there. I'll be there. And she's usually there earlier. She was supposed to be there to set up the sandwiches and get everybody ready. And then they go into a meeting. She's a teacher though. She didn't show up. Everybody got worried. Her neighbors said the last time they saw her was around that time. Her car alarm kept going off. And they finally went over there to say to her, hey, your car alarm can't turn that off or fix it or something. This woo, 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 woo every minute. And that was the last time they saw her. Her stuff was found scattered on the highway, right? I already said that no good. They found her car. Now, when they found her car, the police, upon approaching her car, started getting fired upon. Gunshot from somewhere. Turns out 2 men were firing at them. One man ended up getting shot and subsequently died, and another one escaped. So now they're looking for the other one because they couldn't hold the first one. And said, beat him up and said, tell me which party, what want to get the woman car from. It's illegal for them to do that. But this is Jamaica we're talking about. Police still give coffins. All right, they must have your head back round and back there. That's why I was telling. That's why I was saying, Squatty, that man there, Peter, that was threatening that girl, carry him round her back and deal with him a kind of way. Don't kill him, but let him know that you see what's going on, and But anyhow, so they found her car, and police approaching her car got fired upon, turned into a gunfight. One escaped, one dead. They're looking for the one that escaped. That right there tells me the prognosis is dim. I know a lot of people are saying, SouFLo, don't say nothing bad because power is in the tongue. Listen, it's gone already. You don't go missing in Jamaica for a week and get to come back and talk about it. I have never seen it happen. I've never seen it happen. From your missing for day 2 and 3, I tell your family, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. All right. And in saying that, two more. One murder-suicide happened, and the backstory for that murder-suicide, family members contacted me over the weekend. SouFLo, let me tell you what, I have the voice note. I can't find the voice note. It's in my, I'll do a video where I'll put that voice note in there. But basically, the murder-suicide that happened over the weekend was a woman have her man, and she have a baby daddy because she has a child by somebody else, right? All right. The baby daddy apparently takes care of his child. So baby daddy now have some land, and he said he's gonna put baby mother in working position. See, that working position, no pun intended. He is gonna put baby mother in a position to where she can provide for herself and her child, especially the child. So we have this piece of land. You clear out the piece of land, farm it up, and all the produce from the land you can live off it and you can sell. See, this is a start. This woman's man, her now man, he was ticked off because when baby daddy was over there clearing land, sister girl decided that, this is according to family member on a voice note that I have, and I'll play the voice note at some other time for you. Family member, when baby daddy over there farm up land, she decides that she's gonna cook and bring some food go give him. You know, son hot out the door, he might do hard labor, farming up the land, he's looking out for his child and all these things. The least I can do is bring something go give him to eat over there. Well, her now man wasn't having it. So, as far as I was told, he appeared out of nowhere when she was on her way to bring the food to baby daddy, as he was clearing the land to farm it up. Them say people, we did it, and we see him hug her up. So we never really think nothing about it. But when him hug her up and start stab her up. And then let her go and start cut her up and stab her up. And that's how she died. And I have both pictures on my phone. I think I shared them to the chat room already. And then the man run and hang himself. And I have a picture of him hanging, which I think a lot of people have seen it by now. He hung himself. I have the picture of that. He cut her up badly. I have the picture of that. Gruesome friggin' picture, man. And then another one happened again. So I'm saying it's trending. It's trending for, it's like Dashwa girl and Dashwa woman and Dashwa females is trending. And I want to know, then the other one I think you might have seen, this is this guy's, the mother to his children. Some guys have him, I don't know if you've seen it, he's wearing a pink shirt, he's down in the streets, there's one guy standing on his head, and them a beat him in the road, bloody up on everything. The man come to the mother of his children, you know, he doused her with the gasoline on some government compound somewhere, doused her with the gasoline, and he's running her down to light her. And they might run and she run in a fight, and the clothes, all her clothes tear off, and she run gone with no clothes on. And the guys that were holding him down, shout out to those guys. The guys were saying, so if we never day here, you would have killed the woman. I mean, here our next brother I say, you know, say he's a big Batman dog. He's a big Batman. You can't love, there's no way you love woman. And in the middle of this man getting beat and beat up for what he just tried to do to that woman, I mean, they caught him. They had the gasoline container, they had the lighter that he had, and they had her clothes. And they showed it all on the video that I have. Our clothes rip off. In all of that going on with him, he had time to defend his status. Yo, he's one foot on your face now. He's like, yo, I don't know what kind of Batman argument you're bringing up. Man, a gallus, dog. You know, say a gal thing we deal with. You're not no damn gallus. I think they be having that gallus stuff confused. Let me show you what a gallus is. Because I think Jamaican man them gone loo. They have things misconstrued. Jealous is when woman have to fight over your things because you put it down good. And I'm not talking about just in no bedroom. I'm talking about everybody knows about everybody. You have four women, the four of them know about each other. You know, if you hide no text message and hide no number, and I'm cheating on my girlfriend with the girl who live around there. So that's a gallus. Gallus have enough women and them all know about each other. And they all say to each other, me not care, will you say we have to go share him? Because whatever I do is making it so that them have to fight for him. That's a gallus. What y'all are doing or what they are doing is just deception. You have a woman that you're supposed to be loyal to. You're in a monogamous relationship. You talk to her and inveigle her mind. You tell her you're loyal to her. You fill up her head with, baby, me love you, and you alone and me and the world and this and that. And I'll give you everything and I love you so much. And then when she find out that you're trying to be a gallus, she either leave or she give you a taste of your own medicine. Cause boy, especially new generation Jamaican woman, them not frig for bun, you know. And it's a dangerous game to play that bun for bun thing, but that's what they do. But it seems like Jamaican man them can't take the bun for bun. So it hurts them to the point where they want to kill the female. You not no gallus. You gave her that first. You give her bun, she give you back bun. It's bun for bun. All right, go your way now. You want to kill the woman. Like the brother in the voice note. The man saying, for the last thing me do on earth, I'm not care if police there. Me not take them the kind of trick there. And she's on the phone. This is why I do the videos where I speak to the females and I say to them certain things, don't do it. All right? Your goal is to get away from this crazy mother, you know what. Because, look, you're going to do this bun for bun thing now. First of all, you're defiling yourself, especially if you weren't that kind of a female. Now you're out there with multiple men that jump up in your hole. You're degrading yourself for this loose boy, right? Just go about your business. Again, when they threaten you like that, you can't just sit around and talk about, she said the blood of Jesus is against you, Peter. My girl, listen up. You have to go do more than dash blood of Jesus. Couple that with run and run far. And then some law enforcement activities to back that. I would even say, me I have people hunt Peter. Cause me I buck up Peter before Peter buck me up, because Peter sounds like he is definitely going to do it. The man said, go report it. Me I tell you if you go report it. No. Cause me no business. All if them lock me up. And guess what? By law, they can't hold him for a threat for an extended period of time. See? So there were some measures that I specifically wrote out and spoke out, and I hope that someone is listening and they adhere to that. Else him out dead or Shagga dead, because the man make up his mind, so that's what he's gonna do. It happened recently in Florida, and it was a Jamaican man that did it in front of the police. So when the man here say, me not care for the last thing me do, even if me have to, they dead serious. They are dead serious. Okay? It's dangerous times, man. I don't understand what happened, because when I was growing up, we used to see women get beat up. But it was like, you know, that couple that, and everybody knows that couple that fight, him drink and drunk, when him come in, him want to fight, or him a fight her for sex and them end up a fight her, him spend out all of the money for food and bills up a rum bar, and she a fight him, or they fight. When I was growing up, that's how it was. Like, you know about them. And it was a one couple thing over here. And now it's like, oh, she diss me? She dead. On to the next woman. Like, these guys really believe Them can just kill a woman and just move on with life and on to the next woman. We talk until we're blue in the face. You don't own no woman, brother. If she want left, leave her alone. You know how much women are out here? You know how many women are out here? And you call yourself gallus. Eh? And you stuck on one so much that you're about to end her life and your life. Me not understand your mathematics. I don't get it. Yo, Lady Joy, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you. I don't know what these Jamaican women must have, because I'm studying other Caribbean islands and culture, and I'm looking at it like this is only happening in Jamaica like this. So what is it? Is it that Jamaican women do something that other women can't do? Help me out. What is it? I don't know if I the way she clap it on him or the way she, when I'm saying quint it, or I don't know if it's, or they are master psychologists. They get into your head and twist up your brain to where you feel like, what is it? Because ain't nobody else doing it. Everybody else is a one-off in their country. If them get 5 of these for the year, it's too many. But for us, it's like every day. Every day, almost every day, I wake up and I say, let me see what I go on in Jamaica right now. Let me check the chat room, check my WhatsApp. By the way, for show you my WhatsApp, this is messages on a daily. So for the people where I say, SouFLo, yeah, ignore me. You see this? I'm one person. I'm one person. I can't keep up. But these stories are like constantly. But every rotten day a woman get killed. Every day in Jamaica. Or go missing. Every single day. What is going on? What is going on? What, the man them not love woman no more? Are they trying to make the women extinct? Are they thinking that we can live as a country of men only? Because no, we're not going for that, you know. No, we're not going for it. How can we? How can we live as a country of men only? I'm trying to understand. Oh, I know what it is. She must be subservient. She must bow to your every whim and wish, right? When you say, yo, me I left, and soon come back, she must just respect that. And if you buck a new catty out the road and decide to stay out for 2 days, she mustn't question you when you come back. That's all. And she must keep house clean and give you some place comfortable to lay your head, cook your food, don't talk too much unless you give her permission to. You're delusional and rotted. Y'all are delusional. I am encouraging beta males. Pretty much. Pretty much. I think enough of them never get something like that before. Never get something like that before. As much as they profess to be gallus, and half of the one them that profess to be gallus, if you see what them I deal with, like you have 10 girls, yeah, you sleep with all 10 of them, yeah, but you know, say a 10 girl where everybody sleep with though. It wasn't 10 quality. Out of the 10, I wasn't one of them was quality. So you see when them reach a quality, it's like poof, like, oh, me never have this before. Y'all, if you left me, I'll kill you. If you give away sitting me, I'll kill you. They never had that before. I think that's what it is. Beta males. They can't see past because they've never done it before. So they can't see past. You know, someone is like, hey, me used to get a pretty woman. Every woman I've ever had was pretty. Yeah. And every woman and every relationship I left, the other one was a level up from the one before. So make sure when we leave you, never level up again, because I leveled up when I got to you, right? And you know what? I don't want to be your enemy. Let's leave it like this as friends. Why them can't get to that point they're like, this isn't working. We're not cool with each other anymore. You say you want to leave, Colleen, left on Guan. It's cool. It's okay. Me grieve a little bit because I love you to death, but me get over it and move on with life. But left, go. And leave it at that. Woman, I feel beg, man. These women got to be begging them and got to be like begging for their freedom. When this woman met you and you first started talking to her, I'm sure enough of these women wish they had said no from the get-go and not given you the time of day. And half of the time is some guys were not even too progressive or productive in life. So I'm sure the woman is probably like, Jesus Christ, why am I going to talk to that? This is a madman here. He not even have nothing to offer, really. I know me, I tell him, so we're not, like, he's abusive and I got to go. He might tell me about him or kill me. Track me wherever I am at in the island. You heard Peter tell my girl, he was like, my links broad enough, wide, my links. Anywhere you go. I see some of you brothers over there egging him on. Talk about, you know, I have no links. You know, I mash ants. You know, I do nothing. Don't do that. Don't do that. We've lost real stand-up soldiers, fighters, to some big wussy. Okay? So because you're a soldier, a stand-up fighter, it don't mean a little wussy can't take your life. So y'all stop egging these guys on, and a lot of people are egging them on just because they want something to talk about on social media. Yo, you should have seen on door. Wickedness. When a man says he's gonna do that, don't just sit there, ladies. If him tell you to your feet, yo, me make up my mind. So if I the last thing me do in life, me I kill you. Me not care if police then go report it. Me I tell you if you go report it. Because if them lock me up and nothing, when them let me out, same thing. Me I kill you. You take that lightly. She there telling the man, but me not report it enough. Me not report nothing. That's why I do those videos where I speak to the female. Hello, you hear that? You tell the man about you not report it, you not do nothing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Swordswitch says that's why I don't date Jamaicans. LOL. Yes, Kate. Yes, JK. For every woman who, and that's another thing they do. They return. The man them sweet talk them. You know they have a thing they say about Jamaican men is that don't talk to them for too long. That's what I saw some females said that after coming back from vacation in Jamaica, she was like, don't talk to them for too long. I'm telling you, you won't care how he look after a while, or you'll find yourself naked doing shit that you didn't really want to do, and then wondering why the hell you did it. Right? So now I said, man, a lyricist and the way all them talk sweet. I don't know. But they taught these women back. The same woman will say, yo, me I left, me can't take it no more. Y'all kick off door in here. Y'all beat me up. Me tell you something, don't want to live like this. I'm leaving. How does that man get you to come back? How does that man get you to come back? And you come back. And he has you there again. And then do the same thing again. And you left again. And then sweet talk you again and you come back. I think y'all just need to stop talking to them then. Just stop talking to them, period. Don't have nothing to say. If you're one of them that they can get into your head like that and have you back at the house again naked doing things you didn't really want to do, then you need to stop talking to them, period. Because you can't save yourself. People take it lightly. Yes, Donna Davis, you said no one take it lightly, but too many people take it lightly. You have other men over here talking about when the man said, me, I'll kill your gal. You got other men over there, Jamaican men, that talk about, you're not killing nobody. Go sit down. Behave yourself. You're not doing nothing. What do you think that's telling him to do? Right there again is the fragile male ego. Oh, them boy, I think me a wussy. Me I say wussy, you know, but I already know what the word is. Right now, them boy, I think me a wussy, oh, because me I say me I do that and them I talk about, you know, and do nothing like man a sops. like soft. Y'all are instigating when you do that. Don't do it. Don't do it in the comment section on YouTube or any social media place. Don't do it. Because social media is just as powerful now as face-to-face conversation. Then people here put out them thing and they're reading the comment section from somewhere. Oh, everybody thinks I'm a clown. Everybody feel like I'm an idiot. Everybody and go do it. Just to prove a point. Some of them egos are that fragile. That fragile. There was a man one time not too long back, the girl got tell, I think she got tell our friend them how he was good with the tongue thing, don't mess up. Didn't kill her. Killed her. Because she said he was good with, oh, my man got on them, do it, and like a pro. Girl dead. I can't stop these men from doing what they do. Because like I've said before, once they get to that, some people are just, that's their character. Somebody said earlier, beta males. That's their character. From they feel like, okay, she's going to leave me, or me not going to get something like that ever again, or like it's the end of the road for them. Or there's many heads to this. For the ones, the females who keep on jilting these men. Yes, girl, me I use them, use out them Ross, yes. Big old idiot. I don't know when think me want with no 50-year-old man. Girl, Ray, me young and hot, a young boy, I want. But the money full in pocket full of money though. For those of y'all who be thinking that stuff is cool and you're winning, woe unto you. Because you see they're not playing. I know we're talking till we face blue so, and they're not listening. It looks like the more we talk is the more them kill. Sometimes I feel like I don't need to speak about this anymore because I think they're waiting for us to say something so them can do it again. Just to show us that they're not stopping. I saw a protest in Jamaica on video last night. And the protest was supposed to be young people coming out with their placards, standing out, I mean, given under the conditions, COVID, lockdown, all this social distancing, blah, blah, the people then come out. And they're saying, stop violence against our women and girls, right? The youths. You would think that there would be thousands of people out in the streets supporting these little youth. Blow your car horn, stop out there with them in your mask, show solidarity, something. It was literally a handful of youths out there. So the same perception of, hey, it's not happening in my life, so it don't affect me, bye. That same mentality, just like how I've been talking about the killings in Jamaica for the 6 years now on YouTube. This will be my 6th year. And now is, whoa, lad, whoa, because it reached, I heard somebody yesterday, oh, the 50-something-year-old woman, that's another one. Right before I went to sleep, I saw that one last night. And I was like, you know what? Let me just come off of this something and go sleep here, man, because it seemed like it's not going to stop. The 50-something-year-old woman, they've been looking for her for days. And they found her in her own yard in a shallow grave. And her man, go look at CBM, or I might snatch the clip from CBM later, put it on SouFLoTV. Her man shows up and he's telling the officer asked him right on the camera, so where have you been? Him say, I wasn't here, me never there, some on the seat. You saw it. May, did you see it? That man looks shifty as hell. Yeah, I hear him do it. You live with the woman and suddenly you disappear for days. I'll come back and she's found in a shallow grave. And the police said, so when you come back, him said, just right now. And everybody is saying how calm kind of a person she was. She wasn't rowdy. She's the kind of person where anything you ask her for, she give to you, she have it, or you can send her, go do stuff, or ask her if you please go pick up this and that, and she do it. So they're surprised that you saw it? Who's that Keller? Keller, you saw it, right? That man's face says everything to me. He's shifty as ever. And I don't want to throw nobody under the bus if they're innocent. Maybe he is just for real and he's shocked. But I tend to be a decent reader of character. And the little that I saw from him is another domestic issue. Him take the woman life. Him take the woman life. And too many of y'all suffer in silence, man. Man lock you up in a house and beat you. Beat out your head back, you put on a wig to cover it up. Beat off your face, you put on heavy makeup. You don't need to stop it. From him, go so. And make him spend the rest of his life wondering about what could have been with you two. When him go so and slick you down, go so and then come back. I talk about, you know, some run because I think you're gonna lick me and then and next, yeah, you run because I think me I'm gonna lick your bow. So me lick you there, run now. And you still come back again. We can't stop these men. Apparently, Jamaican men, and I don't want to say Jamaican men and just put all of us in. Let me finish this video off properly by saying this, because I see the comments trending too. That's why I don't date Jamaican men. That's why I stay far from Jamaican men. Me a Jamaican man. Me not lick nobody daughter. All right? I've been through that in life. I haven't always been perfect. I was raised a certain kind of way, and it did rub off on me as well. But I thank God that I found self. I found knowledge of self, and not only that, as a person that wanted to better myself, you do away with certain things. Me not lick nobody daughter. I can't do it. And if she wants to leave, I will help her to leave. Because the faster she leave is the faster I could get over the grieving if I'm so in love with her and move on with life. Go sample what else is out there in God's beautiful garden, in this place we call earth. Variety is out here. So I don't understand how gallus a kill off woman. I'm talking about you are gallus. You're gallus weird. They was literally standing on this man's head. And out of all the things that they accused him of doing, the only one he replied to is when the man said, you know, say as a big Batman dog, eh? You can't love woman. I must bat you love. I must man you on there with. Where you kill a girl for? And then me hear one lady come in now and the lady say, I can't play it on here. I can't play it on here because it's bloody. It's bloody. He's bloody on the ground. Me hear the lady, I said, but wait, you are father, the children father. Are you a baby daddy? And he must say, yes, foot on him head same way now. Yes, I'll be a baby daddy. The lady said, oh my God, Jesus Christ, man, and you're gonna kill the mother of your children. Me don't know, I don't talk with you want to talk to her. That's why I said don't even talk to them. You gotta start taking this thing serious, man. I send out no warning enough. You gotta start taking this thing serious. Stop underestimating them madman here. This fragile ego madman them, stop underestimate them. Because they're telling you what they'll do and they will do it. Stop, go back after you run. I know socio-economical situations make people run into certain situations where, you know, some people are caught between a rock and a hard place. For some people, it's either out in the streets or go live with that mad boy until me get myself together. Some people, they have family, but them can't turn to family. And this same person that abused them is the same person that actually they can depend on for everything else. So them take the abuse just so they can get everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's complicated sometimes, and I understand that. But when I want a woman to understand, say your life is not replaceable. Your life is not replaceable. And by you playing with that fire, you're going to get burned. All right? So like I said, in closing up this video, from him go so, you go so. And don't come back. No beeline, nothing. Make a boy wonder. But rotted me, that the liquor door, but she moved so fast. I was she gone? And 5 years later, he's still wondering. Because you never returned. All right? Shout out to Mrs. Nia, thank you for being here. I'm really surprised about the men in Jamaica behaving like this, and this is not what you want your island to be known for. Exactly, exactly. Anything about it is, Mrs. Nia, Jamaican men, me not gonna end the video, but me have to say this part because I see the comments trending. I'm scared of Jamaican men. I don't want a Jamaican man. That's why I don't date Jamaican men. Blah, blah, blah. I see these comments trending. I've seen comments trend about Jamaican women before. I don't want no Jamaican women. They're materialistic as hell. They're deceitful, they're cheaters, blah, 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 just like the men. I've seen these. I'm telling you, there are good people still that uphold principles, okay? It is who you gravitate towards. It is who you let into your life. Some part, we have to get away from the victim mindset. Because at some part of that, you were complicit and complacent, and you allowed certain energies to enter your life at some part, some point. So like I said before, it's okay to be alone sometimes. You don't have to have one man all the time. Sometimes it's okay to be alone for an extended period of time until you better yourself, and then you can attract a better mate. A lot of these women haven't bettered themselves, so they attract what they are. You get me? They haven't given themselves enough time to even better themselves, so they attract what they are. That's what it is. Stay by your rotted self. Work on you. If you have one loaf of bread, at least you know so your one loaf of bread will fill up your belly. You don't have to share with somebody else. Stay by yourself until you can work out your mind space, who you are, what you want out of life, what you will stand for, what you won't stand for, until you work out your own flaws and faults. Some women keep doing the same thing over and over. Them get a good man, them do the same thing, poke, 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 poke. Till the good man left. Kaima say, yo, me not kill you now. I'm leaving, I'm out. Me don't want this. Then she get the next one, poke and poke and poke, and guess what? That one, yeah, him mad. So when she poke and poke and poke, him start chop and cut and box and shot and know what y'all doing. Know what you're doing. Your life is not replaceable. Okay? Move wise in these times. That's all I'm telling them. What are you doing to set an example, Sir Flo? Set an example for who? Who are you talking about? That's a good question. But set an example for who? It is my responsibility to set an example for my children and lead myself. And I got that on lock, right? So in keeping with this argument, what am I doing to set an example? Nobody don't see me I beat up no woman. Nobody don't see me over here trying to kill no woman because she said she want left. Nobody. I'm out here advocating. When I did the video, and go and watch the last video I did, where the video is titled he is now in custody, because they caught the guy who was Peter, who was on that voice note. Listen to my video. See, I don't break news, right? Oh, they caught the guy who that's not what I do. I'm not TVJ, CVM and them. They break news. That's what news entities do. By me taking my time to sit and thoughtfully think stuff out and research where it's needed and write out and then deliver, that's me doing a whole lot more than a lot of people are doing. I said specifically, I hope that the JCF police, and what I need the audience to do is to tag them in it. But if I ask a million of you guys to tag them, nobody tags them. And then ask me, what am I doing? I did the research. I put the work together. The first thing they need to do is to make sure they limit this guy's movement legally on the books. Everybody come up and talk about this unrealistic stuff. Lock him up and throw away the key. Well, that's impossible. they're giving people who committed blatant murder 15 to 20 years. You think they're going to lock up somebody who made a threat and throw away keys? Huh? Let's deal with reality. So when I talk from a place of reality, stuff that can actually be done to save lives. Limit his movement is the first one. Put him on monitor. Right now we have GPS ankle monitors that can be monitored from the station, and the minute it's tampered with, that alarm goes off at the station. So you might try broke it off hand foot, you beep, it goes off at the station. They're coming to your location, right? Monitor him like that. Have him show up to report to the closest police station to his residence 7 days a week if you have to. She said she's in Ochi. Him in a Spanish town. I don't know if you're too familiar with Jamaica, but the distance from Spanish Town to Ocho Rios is a long way. Okay? There's no way if this guy is supposed to report every day and sign in. And these are things they can do on the books legally. So there's no way he can go from Spanish Town to Ochi and come back in time for signing. He's already made it clear, we don't care if them arrest me, we don't care if police dead. So what does that tell you? The little arrest him and is questioning him. He's already said it that he don't care about that. He knows it's coming. But his goal is to kill her. So this is what I'm doing. Since you asked what me I do for set an example, I'm leading by example, and I'm encouraging every other man who's watching out here to stand up and wave that same flag and say, hell no, it can't work. And join the fight. Even if it's online, verbally, brainstorm, coming up with workable, realistic ideas that can actually save lives. Monitor him, lock him down, limit his movement, keep him on the books, under surveillance. Why am I going to say, yo, it's been a year now and I'm going to go, no, I can't left out of Spanish Town. Well, it's been a year and Denise did not come anywhere near Spanish Town and she is still alive. We know it's been a year and you're here and you can't go nowhere. She's still alive. You still alive too. You over there now? And keep him there. Those are threats that should be taken dead seriously. Not just brush them off. I stopped him, came down, do nothing, just a talk, man. That's what I see other men doing. Just a talk, man, a stops. Yes, another thing that they should do is show his face. Print him on the front page of the paper. This is Peter, whatever his name is. This is the guy who was in the voice note threatening to kill this lady. This is him. So the whole Jamaica see him, big, broad, and clear. That means when they let him go, people can look. Because Jamaica small enough. So people will look and see him somewhere in Mobile and say, yo, Amanda, Peter, that's the one who did up on the voice note. So everybody is tracking him, knows where he's at. And can be helpful because she's in the same area and people know her. They can say, Denise, Peter, they're around you. We don't know how him reach around you. Police supposed to monitor him, but we just see him. But if we never see who his face is, how are we going to be of help? These are the things I talk about. And these are the things that I need my audience behind me to push these things just so they can listen. Because when I speak by myself, I'm just one person talking. Eat that boy SouFLo, talk again. Skip. But when we start signing petitions and our voice start getting loud in the thousands and hundreds of thousands, they're forced to pay attention. Trust me when I tell you, that voice note, when it came out, it was because of vloggers. Why police jump on it so quick? Because the police, them busy, you know. They got a million things to do. So sometimes they don't catch stuff until it's too late. And you know Jamaica police, them understaffed. We don't even have to talk about underpaid. Let's talk about understaffed. So they got so many different emergency situations happening in one day, every day. They miss things. But when a group of us come together and say, hey, listen this, Something needs to be done about this now. And it starts trending. Let's see what's trending on YouTube today. Oh, I've gotten calls from Jamaica before. Yo, bro, you're trending in Jamaica, you know, you're #1 trending. I said, trending for what? I don't even understand how the trending thing works. It's in everybody's face. Show his face. Show his face so we can see him. These kinds of steps need to be made. And stop showing the doggone victims of every crime, showing their face without showing the perpetrator. And they have the perpetrator in custody sometimes, and they don't even show their face. All you hear is that he goes to court next week to face a judge. Then next couple of months to a year, we hear for the murder that was committed in 2020, he is sentenced to how many years? 15 years and a plea deal. He has to do 10 before he gets out, and we never see his face. Show their face. That's a big one. That's a big one. Meme says acid, no, pepper spray should have been legal long ago. Yeah, that's another thing. Brains covered this multiple times on her channel. And this is a Jamaican female that was raised in Jamaica, that lived through that life of Jamaica. So she knows the culture and everything, right? And when people like her talk, Mr. people skip over it. She's releasing important information and then skip over it and go to somebody else that's talking about mix-up. All right, listen, mix-up is cool sometimes, but there's some serious stuff going on we have to address. See? Pepper spray, mace, taser. These are basic things. Basic things. It ain't hard to get that in Florida where I'm at. Every woman here probably have a pepper spray, mace, or a taser. If she don't have a gun. If she don't have a gun. And more than likely she got a gun. So, and it's perfectly legal for her to get these things. These are the things why I believe that there's an agenda. Remember, I used to say, I don't really think there's an agenda, but there probably could be. It's just us destroying ourselves. Nah. Because how do you strip women of the basic things that could defend their life? If a girl lick a man with a stun gun and run, it's time that give her some leeway, some time for run. Stun him and run. Or the pepper spray them. The women have to have resorted to mixing up crushed pepper with vinegar and something else and keep it in a lotion bottle close by. So damn sad. And spray it on the. By the time I take out a big old spray bottle, lotion bottle, the pepper sprays are compact, and the mace, they're compact. They fit on a keychain. Everybody carry them key in a them hand most times, right? When you're out and about. So a boy run up on one, and this thing sprays for like, I think some of them spray like 14 feet away. 14 feet is a whole heap of space. If you come within 6 feet of a female and she senses aggression or any kind of uncomfortableness, like you're about to violate her space, I have never seen nobody take pepper spray to the face or mace to the face and they just, okay, it's nothing. Everybody react the same way. And you take this basic stuff away from the women and then leave them what? Vulnerable? There's an agenda there. There is an agenda there. You know what I'm saying? And then let's not talk about the FLA and to get a licensed firearm. We've brainstormed that before. Build up the shooting range them, build up the instruction classes them, get some military individuals in there to instruct the damn citizens, own a weapon. This is how you fire it. This is how you break it down. This is how you clean it. This is how you carry it so you don't shoot your damn self. This is how you use it in an event. Educate the people and then arm them. Allow them to arm themselves to protect themselves. These are basic things. These are basic things. and they've stripped the people of these things. So there has to be an agenda. When you strip people of how to protect themselves, you don't mean those people no good. You can't take away my weapons and then send me into some volatile area unarmed and tell me about God go with you. Plead the blood of Jesus. I wish you the best. Pray harder. Nah, I'm praying with a loaded gun on me, and I know how to use it. So y'all get prayers on some gunshot, right? I don't know, man. But good question though, what am I doing? This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Women and girls, are you under attack? War for your survival. Shelly and Gordon says the women and girls are under attack, and this is a war for their survival. This is sad as hell, but it's true. It's true. Blatantly true, because we're filled with like narcissistic, crazy ass men who believe that they must kill a woman if she decides to leave, or I mean, even if she give a little bun, I feel her business that. You know, it's fair. Let her alone. You don't want a woman that gives bun and you find out she did that to you, leave. That is the universe opening up another door for you to go get somebody that's more like yourself. Or you never born joined at the hips. Y'all are not conjoined twins. You're born without her. You probably have lived a great deal of your life without her. And when you're dead and buried, I'm sure you're not going to be buried with her. Let the woman alone, make she go about her business. When she decides, say, done it, done. None of these men don't want to hear it. When she decides, say, done, it's done. No matter how you don't want it for done, it's done. Accept that it's done and move on. Frank White, 32nd. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you. VM says the man say him have links in places that tell me he is planning to get someone to do the hit. Yes, on the voice note though, he said, you see when things happen to you, while you're looking at my face, I know say me I do it to you. That tells me he plans on doing it himself. But him have links in places where they can track her, trail her, tell him, report to him. Yo, we see her over here, so. We see her over here, so. So basically, he's trying to make her feel paranoid. Like she can't go nowhere, because him have links everywhere, and them are gonna tell him, say, them see, and he wants her to be locked in and scared and paranoid. And I mean, big up to her because she brave, she did talk tough. But don't talk tough and not back it up. I mean, I talk about back it up on the dump. I talk about back it up by law. Don't talk tough and don't back it up. You then tell the man about I'm not doing this, I'm not reporting anything, and be not scared, and you can't make me hide or run. And you are poking the wasp nest. You're poking the wasp nest. If somebody telling me they're killing or they're going to kill me, me not sit down there and talk about you can't do it. Me no business. Why you say you can't make me hide and can't make me run. That's no. No, you take that seriously. Karen Fuller says, yes, there's an agenda which is introduced by JA last November from the US. What agenda is that, Karen Fuller? Elaborate a little bit, please. Herbert Mushet says the women in Jamaica, they are fighting against the odds because if they get raped, they are blamed. And if they injure a dirty boy, they are blamed as well. What do? They also make it very hard for them to report these things, because the stigma that goes along with it. Somehow she must have done something to attract this. Our skirt did too short. She did a bend over a certain kind of way. She was dancing a certain kind of suggestive way. She looked at me for too long. Me no know. You're right. You're right. You're right. The truth of the matter is, me not care if she out the road naked. Literally, butt naked. You have no rights to her body. You have no rights to her body. She must give you consent, sober consent. Anything after that is a violation. But a lot of these men don't understand that. I remember, we're talking about our culture here. So when I talk bad about itself, we are talking about the bad things about our culture here that has now spilled over into women getting killed on a daily basis. Somebody have to talk up. But a long time, man, I grab woman by them hand. Hey, psst, come here now. Psst. And just walk up and touch body and all these things. Remember I told y'all what a Jamaican female T said to me? Where she said, if you're growing up in Jamaica as a female, you learn to be thick-skinned and tough. Either that, or you end up being one of them girls that what them call fucky. Because man just draw your own card and go show you banana. Yeah? So you have to know how to say from your young, let go off from a bumbo cloth hand, yo. Hey boy, move from the top, yo. Or something like that. So it's a long time it's go on. So they have now progressed from grabbing, touching, to draw away and go rape and murder. Or put in the work, stand before her neatly, present yourself as something you're not. Until you get the pum-pum, then she find out who you are. She get her first thump in her face. Our foot get kicked for the first time. It's sad. It's sad. But there are many good Jamaican men out there who won't do none of this stuff to you. You just have to spend time alone enough to understand you work on your flaws, better yourself in every aspect so that you can attract better. Some females think that because enough man look on them, that means they're hot and happening. Man look on anything. Okay? It's about what you are going to attract into your life. So it's okay to be alone sometimes. We're gonna left it here, so it's almost 2 hours on the show. I mean, nobody ain't watching back no 2 hour live. So Herbert says, "No, my youth, it started in the garrison long time ago." You know, starting in no garrison, fam. You don't start in no garrison. It was happening in pastor's house. It was happening in the policeman's house. It was happening in the politician's house, in their household. There was a time in our society where the women were beat down in front of everybody and really nothing could be done about it. Woman go to station, go complain, police didn't really do nothing about it. That's how it started. And not just garrison. And not just garrison. So with that said, Meme says we need a castle law in Jamaica, meaning farmers should have their right to shoot and kill anyone who comes to their property to harm you. We sure as hell have that in Florida. We sure as hell have that in Florida. You have to know the law, though. You have to know the law. And again, the part of the agenda that I see is how they disarmed the citizens, but heavily armed the criminals. Look at it. They have disarmed the Jamaican citizens. You know, so Jamaicans used to have guns one time, right? Go do your research and look up under which government they disarmed the citizens. When Jamaicans didn't have them guns for go hunting and these things, a lot of bodies wasn't dropping like that. It is when they disarmed the citizens and started arming the criminals so heavily, all this started happening. Karen Fuller said, we had issues before, but this is a new wave. It's directly related to the last November election time. Well, hey man, we're going to leave it right here this morning. All right, we can go on and on. I enjoy talking to y'all so much. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. I thank you for tuning in, and we're gonna see you tomorrow morning right here on SouFLoTV on Morning Thoughts. Have a blessed day. All right, and stay safe. Walk good, my people. I'm out. Peace.